The best game in the best fashion right here. I'm going left. No, I'm going right. And Joseph's going the wrong way, and Gilmore slides it in for the win.
Are you ready to talk some hockey? Get your opinions ready, because we're going to invite you to join us on stream. So brush that hair, get set, and welcome your host, Sam Welby. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another exciting Wednesday evening. It is the NHL Wednesday night wraparound, where we go around the league and beyond, talking about all the news, rumors, trades, signings, all the good stuff. So if this is your first time joining us here on a Wednesday night, welcome in. You're in for a whole lot of fun. My name is Sam. This is the Sam Welby 12 experience, and we do it only one way. And that's the fun way. So welcome into the party. We're going to have a great time. Dallas, what's going on? Good to see you. AAU Triton. I see your freeze, but the alerts don't work here, so we'll freeze you. There we go. Hayden, what's going on? Good to see you. Monkey Man, how's it going? Monkey Man coming in hot. Thought was taking a shot at Dallas, but no, he's talking about the team. Not a fan of the Dallas Stars. Pirate Girl, what's going on? Welcome in. Oh, this is going to be good one. That's right, Hayden. We're in the locker room. Please, Dallas, no spamming the chat. We're going to talk about Matthews. We're going to talk about Nylander. We're going to talk about all the boys. But today, we're starting with a very exciting topic. We're not talking about the boys at all. We're talking about the ladies. And that's because it is official. The PWHL is the real thing, and it is going to launch this coming up January with 6 inaugural teams. So that is right. What a way to start a show. The PWHL kicking things off. Surf Bomb coming in. Member for 3 months. What's up, Surf Bomb? Go Devils. 43 days, but we're not counting or anything. Welcome in, and good to see you. But yeah, the PWHL, the Professional Women's Hockey League. It's a thing. It's legit, and it is kicking off. Free agency and a draft is set to take place this September, which is only a couple of days away. So this is coming up very soon. It's going to kick off and get going. Jenna Hefford was beside herself when this announcement came out. She could not believe that this is an actual opportunity. It is happening again. The PWHL, the Professional Women's Hockey League, kicking off in January. 6 teams, all North American cities. It's going to be Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, New York, Boston, and Minneapolis, St. Paul. So that is what it is. You got it. Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, New York, Boston, and Minneapolis, St. Paul, the inaugural 6. Thank you very much, Monkey Man. Appreciate that. And yes, Toronto's going to have a great year, and hopefully it's a great year in both leagues. Now, like I said, we're going to kick it off with free agency and a draft beginning September 1st. The draft is going to be held September 18th. Okay, so September 1st is when free agency opens. There's going to be a 10-day free agency period, and then September 18th will be the draft. Now, each team is allowed to have 20 players under contract when training camps get going in November. So training camps in November, season starts in January. Captain Tuttle, how's it going? Welcome in. Morgan, welcome. We're going to talk about the Maple Leafs very, very soon, but welcome to the show, and thanks for joining us. All original 6 teams. There you go, Hayden. They're doing it right. It's a nice little start. I'm excited to see this. This is going to be really, really good for all of hockey. But the women have been trying to get their own professional league for such a long time. So it's nice to see that happen And that's the only way we could start off this show, by really expressing our joy and celebration for the women, the International Women's Hockey, kicking off with this Professional Women's Hockey League. So let's see how it plays out. I hope it's going to be really competitive. I can't wait to see how these teams break out. There's a few. Now, if you follow international women's hockey, you know Canada and US have been the top two dominant teams. The other nations are starting to get up there, but they've been incredible. And there are some incredible women athletes out there. So I'm really excited to see who's going to be draft eligible, who's going to be, available in this free agent period to pick up. Could we see, the likes of an Amanda Kessel, sign on day one of free agency? Are there certain, characteristics that make you eligible for a free agent on September 1st versus being eligible for the draft? So we'll have to see how the rules and regulations all kind of break out and seem to be. But man, I'm so excited. It is going to be so good. All right. So that is how we open the show, talking about women's hockey. And let's let you know on something that's coming up real soon. Again, if this is your first time joining us, we're going to run through all the news. We're going to go through the rumors, the trades, the signings. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of things. And then we're going to post a link and allow you, where's the camera? You to come on screen. If you want to have your camera on, great. If not, audio is fine. You're allowed to come on, join me live on stream, talk about hockey, your favorite teams, your favorite players, just have a whole lot of fun. Of course, we do ask that one, you're at least 18 years of age, and of course, that you keep the profanity and all that aside, and we just want to have a good hockey conversation. Desiree, what's going on? Welcome in. Rocking Balls in the house. Curtis Joseph, how's it going? Hope everyone has had a great week. I know we weren't here last week. We were calling the Blue Jays baseball game, but we are back this week. So there it is, kicking it off with the women's hockey. Now there's only one place that we can go next, and there's been so much to talk about for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I think we got to go Maple Leafs next. I think we got to kind of flip the script and bring on the Maple Leaf news. So let's start with, do we want to start the big news? All right, let's start the big news. Dallas, are you ready? Are you ready to bring in the big Maple Leaf news? Sheldon Keefe has received his extension. Sheldon Keefe, the coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs, was awarded a 2-year, initially they said a multi-year deal, but upon some research, we found out it is actually a 2-year deal. Now, the salary has not been released. TJ, what's going on? Welcome in. The salary has not been released. For the last couple of years, he was making $1.9 million, so I'm assuming he's got to be over $2 million. But Sheldon Keefe, in a surprise move, signs a 2-year extension. Now, I'll be honest. I thought he was going to kind of wait until into the season a little bit. I thought there was going to have to be something, right, to see, hey, give him to December, and then if things are going well, let's give him the extension. So he signs for 2 years. The question is, how short is that leash? How short is that leash that if the Leafs are having a terrible move, are they just going to cut him loose and move on? We'll have to see. Dallas probably wasn't talking about that. Oh, Hayden, my mistake. I thought that was the big news that Dallas wanted. All right. In other amazing Toronto Maple Leaf news, the big news that Dallas wants to talk about, the Toronto Maple Leafs have gone out and signed an unbelievable talent, somebody who's going to make a difference. Simon Benoit, the defenseman who you might know him from the Anaheim Ducks. He signs a 1-year deal, $775,000. Now, will he play on the big club, or is he just going to stick on the minors? We'll have to see. We'll have to see how he does at training camp. But Simon Benoit, the 6'3", 200-pounder, 200-plus pounder, signs in Toronto. Now, if you're wondering, who the heck is Simon Benoit and why would we sign him? Well, like I said, he's 6'3". He is a big hitter. There's some incredible highlights out there. He can dish it out. He might not be the greatest defender in the world, but he can hit. And we know that's something that the Toronto Defense Corps has been missing for a while. Now, Jake Muzzin was a big hitter. He is not going to be playing, so they lose him. We know they had Luke Shen, was a big hitter, and I was really impressed with him in the playoffs. Luke Shen has signed elsewhere. They had Ilya Lyubushkin previously. He is no longer a Maple Leaf. So they need that big hitter, and I think Simon Benoit, should he get the playing time, should he get the PT, will get a chance to throw his weight around. What you think of the Avalanche? We'll get to that, Rock, and we'll get to that. Marley's material. Surf Mom, I think that's probably where he's going to end out the year. But who knows? If he has an amazing camp, anything is possible. So I'm going to assume that Simon Benoit was not the news story that Dallas was looking for. All right, fine, Dallas. We'll give it to you. We talked about it a little bit last week. Austin Matthews signs the extension, an unbelievable deal. Social media was blowing up. Social media not happy with the Austin Matthews deal at all. I'm ecstatic about it, and I'll tell you why. He signs a 4-year extension at 13.25. So this year, this upcoming season, is not part of that extension. Hey, Prep, what's going on? Welcome in. So Matthews, this upcoming season is still at the 11 and change he was making. It is the following year when that extension kicks in. So really, we have Matthews for 5 years at this point. Jordan's Disney Adventures, what's going on? Welcome to the show. So we have Matthews locked up for 5 years, 1 at 11 and change, 4 at the 13.25. And the reason why I think this is a great idea or a great signing is because when you look, when he's 2 years into that deal, right? So 3 years from now, that salary cap is going to have jumped up quite a bit. You're also going to have the Draisaitl signing, and you're going to have a lot of other big name players that are signing. And that Matthews McDavid, they're so interchangeable. The Matthews deal, I think, is going to look really good when you're talking 3 years from now. It's going to be competitive where all the stars are. And then a couple of years after that, you have the McDavid free agency. And so as Matthews is getting into that end of his contract, you have McDavid coming out. So it's going to be interesting to see in year 4, year 5, how is that all going to work out? But that's why I think it's a good deal. Leafs Nation, a lot of people right now are thinking today, going, oh my God, we don't have a cap room. How are we settling on $13 million? It's not 13 this year. It's 13 next year. And the cap is going to move up a little bit, not a lot, but then it will start going up. I thought this was supposed to be a curling live stream. Yeah, curling. Hey, we might have a curling stream coming up. You never know. You never know. Olympics just around the corner another year, Jordan. We'll let you know if we do a big curling video. We'll make sure to really market it and get it out there. But there it is, the big news. Austin Matthews is signed up. And a big thing with this deal, Tree Living came out and said this deal got done because Austin Matthews wanted this deal to get done. That's important. He wanted to get this deal done. Matthews worked to help make this deal happen. Gordon, what's going on? Welcome in. Why is that so important? Why are those words that important that Matthews wanted to get this deal done? Because that brings up the next conversation. Willie Nylander, Big Willie Styles. Now, if you've seen, Nylander recently did an interview, a podcast with Elliot Friedman, where he was very chill. He was very relaxed, sitting back on the couch, kind of slunched over, 10 million reasons why Willie Nylander is pretty comfortable right now. And all Nylander said, the gist of it was, he wants to be in Toronto. He doesn't want to play anywhere else. There's no reason for him to think he'll play anywhere else because he's confident he's going to be in Toronto and he wants to be here long term. And what Nylander said is, because he was asked about, the whole $10 million speculation, what Nylander said is, when it comes to his contract and the financial negotiations, it's between his agent and the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he leaves it to them. That is the big difference. Austin Matthews, involved in the contract negotiations, wanted to be in Toronto, showed he wanted to be in Toronto, negotiated, worked it, made it happen. He's here. Nylander, they'll figure it out. Now, if you remember, last time Nylander had a deal, he held out. He held out for like 2 months because he didn't want to come off his number, and Dubas paid him a crazy amount at the time based off his current history, was not worth that amount. Now, Yes. Did Nylander progressively get better? He did. Sure. Listen, he's a 40 goal scorer, but he's going to do that again. He's going to sit back. He's saying, no, I don't want to be involved. Let the Maple Leafs, let Willie Nylander get through it, or let the agent get through it. And that's the difference. Matthews wanted it to happen. He made it happen. Nylander, he wants it to happen, but he doesn't want any part to do with it. You're getting old like me trying Big Willie styles. There you go, Rockin'. There you go. So that's kind of the Nylander situation. He's sitting back. It also came out that Toronto was indeed shopping William Nylander the early part of this summer. So they were going back. They were negotiating around. They did not release what teams were in the conversation, but they were certainly talking to it. Now, at the end of the day, they said, hey, we didn't find a deal out there that fit our needs, fit what we wanted. You know, there were some big deals that got done, like Pierre-Luc Dubois. There were some others where teams paid a lot. And teams knew, hey, if Nylander wants $10 million, he's not worth $10 million. But how can they trade him if a team is only going to have him for 1 year? So I believe Nylander is going to start this season, since it's like in a month, going to start this season as a Toronto Maple Leaf player. I think Nylander is going to be here for the majority of the season. Unless something crazy happens, a team gets an injury to a major superstar who's out for the year, and they need a quick fix, and they're willing to give up a lot for him. I can't see that scenario happening, but I think Nylander is going to be here a long time because right now he's just not tradable with what he wants. They're going to continue to work. I think we're either going to see two things. Nylander is going to be moved at the trade deadline, and it'll be like a pick and a player. It won't be a large thing. It'll be something, a smaller package. Might even be a three-way deal with some salary being retained, so it makes him a little bit, more ingestible for this year. So either he gets moved at the trade deadline, we lose him, he plays out, he goes on a playoff run, and he goes to free agency, or he comes down off his marker and says, hey, I'm not going to take $10 million. Will we settle at $9 million for 8 years, 9.5 for 8 years? I think kind of that $9 million, if it comes to that late in the season, that's where we're going to see him, $9 million. If he goes to free agency, hey, he can test the waters. He could say, somebody give me 10 mil, somebody give me 10 mil. But if he doesn't have a good season, if he only puts up 25, 30 goals this year, he's not going to get 10 million. So maybe then he turns around and comes back. Hey, Jonathan, how's it going? Welcome in. So that's kind of my stance on William Nylander right now. I'll be very curious to hear your stance as we go. But again, the big reason why that was important, Matthews wanted to get his deal done. He was involved. Nylander, not that involved. So that is kind of the Nylander news for today. Let's keep going down the topics, and then we'll be able to bring everybody in, have some fun. Next up on the list, some signings and trades. Let's get into the signings and trades, have a little bit of fun. Let's bring this up on the screen. Can we bring it up on the screen? Let's try it. Sure, why not? Hey, oh, there we go. Let's move some things around here. We'll go bada boom, and we will switch it up to here. There we go. All right. So I don't know how well you can see that or not. A couple big moves, starting it off with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa Bay, Brendan Hagel signing a monster deal, and this is great for him. 8 years at $6.5 a year. Brendan Hagel with a monster deal. That is so good. Listen, Brendan Hagel is an outstanding player. I'm a big fan of his. He bothered me a little bit in the playoff run with Toronto last year. He was a little chirpy, a little too chirpy, but he's a good speedster. So Tampa Bay locking him up long-term. Tampa Bay have a number of players locked up long-term. Joe Velino, he picks up another year in Detroit, $8.25, so not major there. Radish signing also in Tampa Bay, gets 2 years at $1.95, total cap hit of $9.75. Alexis Lafreniere, the number one draft pick from the New York Rangers a couple of years ago, kind of struggled. Dawson, how's it going? Welcome in. Lafreniere kind of struggled a little bit, but the Rangers going to give him another shot. They signed him 2-year deal at $2.33 million, so a 4.65 cap hit. This is a good deal. Listen, he's 21 years of age. We know these players take time to develop. They take a little bit of time to get going. And Lafreniere, he really showed last year. He's got some chops. he's got some hands, he's got some skill. So it'll be nice to see what he can do. Of course, we talked about the big boy, Austin Matthews. On the trade front, a couple of trades to talk about. Petrie, after getting dealt to Montreal, Montreal ships him off to Detroit for Lidstrom in a conditional pick. I think we talked about this previously. And then, of course, Lyubushkin, who I mentioned a little bit ago, Lyubushkin gets shipped over to the Anaheim Ducks in exchange for a 4th-round pick. So Lyubushkin and Petrie and Lidstrom on the move as some of the trades going through. So good to see, good opportunity for these guys to try a new place, some new digs. So that will be really, really good to see. Of course, we're still waiting. Evan Bouchard, he signed an extension, has signed a deal in Edmonton. Great little signing here, $3.9 million for Bouchard. Bouchard is such a good defenseman. He's the only other one of note to talk about. Now, when we talk about free agency, whoops, let's move this around. Sorry, I got too many windows going. When we talk about free agency, there are some unrestricted free agents out there, unrestricted and restricted. Someone like Trevor Zegras. We talked about how Zegras hasn't come to a deal yet, an arrangement yet with the Anaheim Ducks. So is someone like Zegras going to be on the market? Could Zegras be available in some kind of a sign-in trade for Nylander? It's something we've kind of talked about. So he's kind of one of the big restricted free agents still out there. On the unrestricted list, we have Patrick Kane. He's going to headline that list. And why is Patrick Kane important to talk about? Well, Patrick Kane, he had surgery. He's recovering. He's working out. One of the big things with Patrick Kane is apparently he already knows where he's going. He knows the destination. Through the rumor mill, one of Kane's longtime friends out in California, they were talking to Kane and said he will play for a contender, and he already knows what team he's going to play for. So according to Kane, he knows where he's going, and it's going to be a contender. What we don't know is, will this contender be Toronto Maple Leafs? Will he go back to the New York Rangers? Is he waiting to see how the Buffalo Sabres do this year and will potentially go to Buffalo back home for him? So it's going to be interesting to see what Patty Kane decides to do. Now, in that same breath, as we talk about Patrick Kane, one of the players we talked about was Jonathan Toews. And if you remember a few weeks back, we made the announcement that Jonathan Toews was going to retire. We were expecting an announcement to come out. And that announcement actually wasn't that he's retiring. He's decided not to retire. He's just taking a break from hockey for the foreseeable future because of his health. Now, Jonathan Toews had some health issues with long COVID, and he struggled in his recovery. Thank you, Hockey97. I appreciate that so much. Looking in here, Gordon says Kane's going to go back to the Rangers. Morgan's hoping it's Toronto. Hayden says the Coyotes. Hayden, if the Coyotes are a contender and Patrick Kane signs with the Coyotes, I retire. I will admit that I know nothing about the world of hockey. That would blow my mind. That would be hysterical. Gordon said, yeah, going back to New York Rangers, that would be interesting. I wonder if this team that Kane wants to go to will want to need. Curtis, that's a very good point, right? When you're talking about, let's say he's ready to come back, let's just say in the new year, right? Say he takes off October, November, December to recover. Then, in January, he decides to come back. Well, you're right. What if that team has a really good thing going and they either don't have cap space, they don't have a spot in their roster, they don't want to juggle their lineups around? So it's going to be interesting to see what that is. But yeah, Jonathan Toews announced he's going to step aside from hockey for a little bit for his health to recover. So we hope he does well. We hope he does recover because we'd love to see Toews come back. Now, Toews did go overseas and participated in the Marian Hossa, retirement celebration game that was played. A lot of NHLers were over there, and Toews had a pretty nifty tic-tac-toe goal, little give-and-go goal with Hossa. So it was pretty sweet to see, but good for him, and we hope he gets better. A couple other pieces of NHL news going around. Let's make sure we get this going. I want to save that. We're going to say that till the end. Dawson, what do you think about Matt Murray on long-time IR? So, Dawson, I think it's one of those things that had to happen. We had to figure out how to get rid of his salary. And, we couldn't trade him. We tried to trade him, and it came out, everyone in Murray's camp is saying, hey, he's just not healthy. He just can't play. So it's the only move they really had, right? If he's not fit to play, he has to go on long-term IR. So it doesn't bother me. I'm glad they did it. If they held on to him and tried to get him into a couple of games, just was going to mess up our goalie situation even more. Put him on long-term IR. Let him spend the season at home, watching from his couch, doing whatever Matt Murray is going to do, and let Samsonov, let our goaltending squad, play their game and not have to worry about juggling it around with or without him. Now, some of the other news, talking about Taves and potentially retirement, we do have a player that announced their retirement. We've had a lot of retirements. We had a couple Boston Bruins and Bergeron and Krejci both announcing their retirement. This time, it is Carl Hagelin. Carl Hagelin renounced his retirement. Just saw before we came on. So Carl Hagelin is done. And I think that's awesome. Good for him. Hagelin's had a great career. I've had him many, many years in my playoff pools, my hockey pools, and he always came through. Carl Hagelin was a nice player, a fun player to watch, good hockey IQ. So congratulations, Carl, on your career, and congratulations on your retirement. Let's see, Hayden. He will hurt his butt if he tries to sit on the couch. Yeah, probably, Hayden. Islanders fan, what's going on? Welcome in. Welcome to the show. So we only have a couple more news stories to go, and then we're going to drop a link in and welcome you to come and chat with us live. We talked about the Women's League off the top of the show, which is awesome, but there is some NHL and NHLPA news. So if any of you have paid a lot of attention on what's going on, has Murray been cleared by the league? Yes, I believe it's all said and done, Curtis. I believe it is all said and done. The paperwork has been filed, if you will. So many, many years ago, the NHL players used to partake in a World Cup of hockey, right? They got the best of the best together, and they really performed, and it was amazing to watch this international competition instead of waiting every 4 years for the Olympics. Jordan, celebrating his membership, hits the 1-year marker, 12 months of, oh boy. Thank you for all what you do. Appreciate love. Oh, thank you, Jordan. Right back at you. Thank you for everything you do. You are an amazing person, an amazing friend. So thank you for 12 whole months. You're 1 year. Congratulations. Thanks, Jordan. SpongeBob in the house. What's going on? I got some San Jose Sharks updates. I'm going to come to you, but let me finish this thought. The NHL and the NHLPA have announced they are working to create a new international competition. It's looking to be held in February of 2025. And this comes directly from the NHL Deputy Commissioner, Bill Daly. So Bill Daly announced they are working together, the NHL and the NHLPA, for a new international competition of February 2025. And of course, this is going to be on the heels because in 24, we have the Summer Olympics. Then in 26 will be the Winter Olympics. So my guess is they're going to do this to get the NHL schedule right and wrapped around for when the Winter Olympics will be, so then the NHL players can go and partake. That's where I'm hoping it is all leading to. So that will be cool. I love when they do stuff like that. I know when they used to do it last time, they did it in place of the All-Star game. We'll have to see if that's going to be the case in 2025, if they're going to have this international competition instead in lieu of All-Star Week. So more to come on that as we get the information. A couple other news stories. Let's go to San Jose Sharks. Since our friend SpongeBob SquarePants is in here. Hello, SpongeBob. That's my Patrick. It's terrible. The San Jose Sharks have added 2 members to their scouting department. You might be familiar with these names. Ryan Miller and Thomas Vanek. Ryan Miller and Thomas Vanek have both been added to the San Jose Sharks scouting department. Both of them were previous teammates of Mike Greer when they all played in Buffalo. So an interesting connection there. Mike Greer bringing in some of his old colleagues, his old teammates, and Ryan Miller and Thomas Vanek. You know, Ryan Miller was a spectacular goaltender, had a really good career. Thomas Vanek, I think, was a very underrated player, but he was a great, great player. Really liked Thomas Vanek. So they're going to go help out in San Jose. Lewis, how's it going? Welcome in. Dallas says 331 days until the Olympics. There you go. Dallas, the queen of the countdown, keeping us honest on our timelines. Thank you, Dallas. The last bit of news, and I hate to end it on, not that we're ending, we're going to invite you to come on and join us in a moment, but I hate to end the news segment on this. Actually, I got one other thing we can do, so we don't have to end it on this. If you remember a couple of years ago, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about Alex Galchenyuk. Alex Galchenyuk had signed in Phoenix. He went on a little bit of a bender, had a little too much of the soda pop, and kind of went off. And he got in a whole bunch of legal trouble, did a bunch of bad things. Well, his legal troubles have finally reached his conclusion. Now, Alex Galchenyuk is a former Montreal Canadian, a former Toronto Maple Leaf. He has pled guilty to a misdemeanor charge, and he was sentenced to 30 days in jail. 30 days in jail for Alex Galchenyuk. Galchenyuk also just signed a deal to go play overseas in the KHL, so he's got 30-day sentence, and then will be fleeing the country, if you will, to go play hockey. So I had to provide the knowledge on the conclusion there. And the last but not least, another NHL retirement to announce. This one is Jonathan Bernier. Again, ex-Toronto Maple Leaf Jonathan Bernier had a real struggles. He struggled in Toronto. He bounced around, struggled wherever he went. Bernier announces his retirement from the NHL after 14 years. So much like we congratulated and celebrated Carl Hagelin, congratulations, Jonathan Bernier, on your retirement and 14 years at the show. All the best to you. So Bernier and Hagelin, the pair of retirees, if you will. So that's pretty awesome. How about the 5 players off Team Canada? Or which are talking about the legal story there, Gordon? I hadn't looked too much into that, so we might save that one for next week if that's the story I'm thinking you're asking about. I didn't get enough information to come in and actually be able to talk about it. So I got to do a little bit more research on that one still. All right, the other big thing, well, you know what? Now let's do this first. I was going to bring you on first, but let's do this together. I will share my screen, and they've come out. The NHL has released their predictions. Actually, I'm not going to share the screen. I'm going to get you to answer in the chat, because if you see my screen, you'll know the answer. So we're just going to look at the top few players based off their 2023 stats, and I'm going to have you guess where NHL has put their projections for this upcoming 2024 year. And let's start with the bot, Connor McDavid. McDavid, last year, he had 153 points, 64 goals, 89 assists. So if he finished this year with 153 points, put in the chat, where do you think Connor McDavid is going to finish next year? Is he going to get 153 points again? Is he going to get 180 points? Is he going to get 120 points? What do you think McDavid is going to get points-wise next season? Just drop it in, and then I'll let you know who's the closest, and I will give you the answer. Now, as we're waiting for those numbers to come in, McDavid last year was a plus 22. I'll give you some of these other numbers. They're projecting him to be a plus 25 this year, projecting him to have more penalty minutes at 42, less power play points. Last year he had 71. They're projecting 64. Let's see. William, welcome in. William saying 169. Morgan's going 153. TJ's going 103. Pretty good, pretty good. We're kind of close. I think Morgan is the closest right now. Lewis is going 158. That would be pretty amazing. Hayden says 2 points. 2 points. He's going to get a goal and assist and then get injured and out for the season. God, shame. Knock on wood. Let's pray that doesn't happen. Curtis saying 135. Gordon says maybe 100. Connor McDavid is projected. Actually, let me go to my other chat because this chat is a little delayed. 257. 1,000,000 points. Road Warriors, what's up? 150 and Timbits puck. Triton saying 1. NHL is predicting him to have 148 points in 81 games. So it means McDavid is going to miss 1 game. He's going to have 61 goals, 87 assists for 148 points. That's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Chris, what's going on? Minus 209. We won't do the same game for Draisaitl. Draisaitl finished with 128. They're predicting him to have a very similar season, 129, 55 goals, 74 assists. Elias Pettersson, who didn't have a great year, he still had 100 points, 102 points. They're predicting Pettersson to have a monster year, 116 points with 45 goals. Let's see. Jade, what's going on? Welcome in. Mark, how's it going? Welcome in. We are doing fantastic. Hope you are as well. Let's skedaddle down. Pasternak finished with 113 last year in that crazy season that Boston had. They're predicting Pasternak to have 105 this year. Now let's go to Austin Matthews. Now, Austin Matthews, if you recall, he played 74 games this past year. 74 games. He had 40 goals and 45 assists for 85 total points. So where do you think Austin Matthews is going to finish? And give me 2 numbers. How many games? So a max of 82. How many games is Matthews going to play? And what's his points? So you can put it in like 82 and 90 or 70 and 70. So let me know how many games you think he's going to play and how many points. TJ saying 76 and 80. All right, good predictions, good predictions. Gordon saying well over 100. Williams 73 and 95. 48 games, 9 points. Oh, Triton. 82 and 100 for Morgan. Nice. Fans of the Green Bay Packers welcome in 80 and 120. Dallas going with the million, of course. Mark 78 and 65 goals. 80 and 110. All right, so here is, did I close it? For Austin Matthews, they're predicting he's only going to play 73 games this year. 73 games. That's what NHL is predicting. And that really bothers me. Why are they predicting him to play less games this year than last year? Is he still hurt? Does the NHL know something we don't? They're saying 73 games and a total of 99 points. 99 points. So he's going to play 1 less game. He's going to have about the same amount of assists, 46 assists this year. They're predicting Matthews to have 53 goals. 53 goals in 73 games. If Matthews gets 53 goals in 73 games, that's an insane number for such a small amount of games. Listen, I hope that's not true, but his history of being injured with his wrists and his back kind of comes into play a little bit. So that's where Matthews is getting, pretty close indeed. Pretty close indeed. 73 and 53. Let me rhyme off a couple other predictions here. Players of interest, Matt Tkachuk. They're looking at he's going to have an even better season, 112 points, over 109. McKinnon, a little bit of a less of a season, 106 points. Jason Robertson for Dallas's Stars, going to be up over 100 points. Tage Thompson, this is a big one. In Buffalo, he had 94 points last year. They're predicting him to have 98 points. So Thompson getting closer to that 100-point marker. Kaprizov expected to be over 100 at 103. Jack Hughes expected to be over 46 goals, 107 points. That would be insane. So those are kind of some of the key players to watch. One of the interesting ones they're putting on, this kind of gets me. This one kind of gets me. They are saying that Carlson, Carlson that had that monster season for San Jose where he 25 goals, 76 assists for over 100 points. They're saying Carlson again is going to have 23 goals and 74 assists for 97 points. I would be dumbfounded if Carlson puts up 97 points. I would be absolutely shocked. So we'll see. Mitch Marner, they're saying he's going to play less games, 77 games, but he's going to break the 100 marker. Remember, 2 years in a row, Marner finished with 99 points. They're saying he's going to be up over 100 points, so that will be good. Connor Bedard, this is the interesting one. The very, very interesting one. Where I think Benoit is going to step it up. The better team, the system in the spot. Mark, I think so. I think that would be absolutely insane. I hope that's the case. Lori, good evening. Welcome in. Good to see you. So what are your opinions on Connor Bedard? Where do you put, and we've kind of talked about this before, but drop in the chat. Let's assume Bedard plays all 82 games. How many goals does Bedard get and how many points? So again, you could do 20 and 80. You could do 40 and 100. What do you think Bedard is going to do? Hayden says 36 goals, 72 points. Now he is playing on Chicago. Chicago is, they need some help. Let's just say. So the assists might be a challenge, but we'll see. 36 goals, 72 points. All right. So again, we're talking Connor Bedard. Now, while your numbers are coming in, Dennis, hey, Dennis, how's it going? Bedard just 30, 65. So Bedard, if you've seen any of the highlights from the BioSteel camp and the workout stuff that Bedard is doing, man, he looks so good. He has such great puck control. Such great puck control. Gordon saying it's going to be low. So we'll give it another minute. 90. He's going 90 points. We'll give it another moment, and then I will tell you the answer. I want to make sure everything comes in. Mark says 20. All right. So the projection for Connor Bedard is he's going to play a full 82 games. He's going to have 57 assists. And for goals, he's going to have 33 goals. So they're setting Connor Bedard up for 33 goals. And if you did the math, 90 points and a -10. He's going to be -10. 80 games, 35 goals, 80 points. Pretty close. Pretty close. 33 goals and 90 points. Listen, I kind of think he'll be in and around that 30-goal marker. I think, of course, depending on if he stays healthy, because everyone's going to take a run at him. So I say that 30-goal marker is probably going to be there. I would be shocked if he gets 90 points. I would be absolutely shocked. Because the problem, if we take a quick little sneak peek at Chicago, the issue is going to become not Bedard's talent. It's going to have who he has to work with. Yes, Taylor Hall is there. Taylor Hall is going to get some points. Tyler Johnson isn't going to be a big help. Andreas Anastasiou isn't going to be a big help. Nick Foligno isn't going to be a big help. Corey Perry isn't going to be a big help. So who is Bedard going to be setting up? Yes, it's going to depend on his lineup. I assume, that Bedard is going to be playing with Hall and Johnson, but who's he going to set up? Is he going to get all of his assists passing to Seth Jones or Zaitsev? They're not going to be putting in a lot of goals. So I really do think he's going to get the goal marker. He's going to be in and around 30 goals. No chance he gets 57 assists. I would be shocked. So that is kind of the players to be, the guys we wanted to talk about and discuss. Now it's the time of the show where you get to get involved, come and talk about some hockey. We're going to keep it a little shorter today, but if you want to come in and talk about one of the stories we've talked about, we want to keep it hockey relevant. So one of the stories, we can talk about the Women's Hockey League, we can talk about the Maple Leafs, the Sharks, we can talk about any of the NHL teams, but let's keep it to what we've discussed here today. And I want to get your take, your opinions. So let me get the invite link ready. Yes. Oh, what is this? There's a new feature here. Huh. We'll have to play with that. I don't know what that new feature is. So we're going to leave it off. All right, let's get this link in. Again, we ask that you're at least 18 years of age. We ask that you keep the cursing, the foul language to a minimum, PG, and we want to keep it respectful. And of course, keep it on point. The conversations we want to have, we want to make sure the conversations surround the stories that we've discussed. All right, so here is the link. I've just dropped it in. Oh, of course. These new, now that they put these new like hearts and stuff where you can click on the side, it makes it really difficult to pin the messages. There we go. Pin message. All right, so we got that. That is pinned up now. I should be able to welcome you. And no, not the Maple Leafs. Chris is like, not again. Not the Maple Leafs. All right, let me switch. I got to switch my bippity boppity boo. There we go. All right, let's bring in, Jade was in here first. Let's bring in Jade. TJ, I see you there. I'll bring you in a moment. That's right, Mark. Hands down, the coolest hockey community on YouTube. And we're not in the middle of winter, so we're not actually cool. We are cool. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. All right, let's bring in Jade, talk a little bit of hockey, and then we'll bring in TJ. Jade, how's it going? Welcome in.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm fantastic, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just, getting ready for hockey season. But how about the San Jose Sharks? Because I know there's no Kraken or anything. So
the Sharks, man, I'm a big fan of both those players, Ryan Miller and Thomas Vanek. They have really, really good careers. And I'm hoping, I like what Mike Greer is doing in San Jose. And I think they will make a really good impact as well, kind of getting back together. But that's a tough job as a scout.
yeah. I think you said that what's his face? Somebody from the Rangers. I'm sorry if I'm going off topic.
But, no, that's okay. Lafreniere, number one.
Kane, was it? Kane?
Oh, Patrick Kane, yes.
Oh, okay. Kane's his last name, so Patrick it is, because I think he wanted to come out and, he was either going to go up to Buffalo or he was going to go over to San Jose. God knows. I know a friend of mine, in her area of California, they don't have a hockey team, so she goes with San Jose, the Sharks. So she's like, I want him. She's like, I want him.
Yeah, he's a great hockey player, and that would definitely help that team out.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't have a good season last year. They weren't good. You have your seasons where you're up or you're just not good. I don't want to say trash. I don't want to offend anybody.
No, they were pretty trashy. They were pretty trashy. Did not have a good year at all. Let me ask you this, because we've talked about it before. You are a newer hockey fan, getting into the game over the last few years.
Yeah.
When we talk about the women hockey players getting their own league, is that something you would be interested in watching, or are you more like, no, listen, I just got into the NHL. I'm just going to stick with that. What do you think?
When I was a little kid, I used to watch the NHL a little bit, because even though there was no Seattle, I was just watching whoever was on. I mean, to see the women's get their own league, it's kind of showing, you have the WNBA, I think. Am I saying it correctly? Yeah. You have that, now women can finally get their own hockey league. I think it's amazing.
I agree. I mean, Dallas and I have been, we've done some women's hockey on this channel. Unfortunately, we talk about it a lot. We can't call as many games as we like, usually because their games are on the middle of the afternoons. They don't get great TV times. But I'm really excited because from what we have watched during the Olympics and some of the international tournaments, some of those games were better than the men played. So it's going to be really, really exciting, especially because now we're going to get a chance to mix the teams up. We know Canada and US are usually the two dominant teams, but now they're going to be commingled and really mixed up. So it's going to be so good to see once it comes out.
Yes. I'd like to see, the women's kind of, I know, because, what are they asking? There's somebody here in the live stream. They're asking, all right, forget it. I'd like to see the women's just come back and, if they can get a WNBA, they can definitely get one for hockey because, women can do anything these days. I mean, back in the old days, women just couldn't work because the men would go to work and the women would stay home and take care of the kids.
That's true. So now it's changing around. We know it's going to kick off in January. So we'll have to wait and see what this schedule is like. I know they've just announced this is happening. I have to assume they already have a TV deal lined up. They have to have, if they're announcing a league, there has to be some kind of broadcast or deal in place or going to be announced soon. So we'll see what that's going to be. And hopefully we'll be able to get a couple of those games called on the channel as well, because that would be a lot of fun in the inaugural season to call some of those hockey games.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, listen, I want to bring TJ in. I know there's so much more we could talk about, but I want to keep it kind of short tonight.
Don't worry about it.
Thank you so much for always supporting the channel, coming back in, and we'll see you again real soon.
Yeah, of course. Next time you're doing a stream, I'm gonna bring in a friend of mine. Well, he doesn't have a hockey team, but he lives in Atlanta because he does. There's not a lot of people talk about this, but people there's some cities that people want hockey in, and Atlanta's one of them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, share the channel over, tell them to check us out, and absolutely be more than happy to have him come on and join us. The more the merrier. So
we
appreciate it.
He watches you, so don't worry. He's 24, so he's totally fine, man.
Awesome.
Thank you. And I tell him the age policy. If you're not
there, you go.
Don't even try.
Appreciate it. Well, Jade, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your week. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
All right, that is our good friend Jade. Let's bring in TJ. You've seen him in the chat. He's a good friend. Welcome, TJ. How's it going?
Hi, Sam. I talked to you again. Hi, Sam.
Great to talk to you again. So are you getting excited for hockey to kick off in a month or so?
Yes, but I'm going to miss my baseball, Sam.
Well, listen, right now the Blue Jays aren't playing that well, so I kind of want to
my guys are not playing evil.
Yeah. Were you was it Red Sox was your team?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, Red Sox. You were trying to
Sam, us. I talked about Nylander. That's why I wanted to come on, because I want to talk about Nylander.
Sure.
Before I do that, though, can I ask you one more thing, and then I'll talk to you about Nylander?
Of course.
I got a couple hockey cards I'd like to do for a giveaway for you. Is there any way I could do that?
Oh, that's so nice, TJ. Yeah, absolutely. If you want, we could do it two ways. Do you want to save it for a hockey season, or do you want to do it before hockey season?
Can I do it maybe next Wednesday? Come on next Wednesday and I could do it?
Yeah, we could do that. What I would say...
So I don't have much money, Sam. I don't have that much money because I have a disability and I'm on a fixed income. So
yeah, if you want to, you know what? Message me on Instagram. We'll make arrangements.
Okay.
And then that way we can do it properly. And if I can get you to get me the cards, and then I can ship them out to the winner, so we're not sharing.
I'm gonna call. Sorry, Sam. My staff are talking to me.
Oh, no problem. So yeah, send me a note on Instagram. And what I'll do is I'll get you.
Can I show you the cards quickly? Can I show them to you quickly?
Sure.
It's Morgan Riley. One of them is Morgan Riley. I know nobody likes him, I know, but
no, he's great.
And the other one is it's not a sign, but it's not really a signature, but it's replica of Wayne Gretzky. I have 2 of them, so
very cool. Yeah, if you want to send those to me, I can facilitate a giveaway for you and get those to the winner.
Okay, now can I talk about Nylander quickly, Sam?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want your opinion. If he stays in Toronto, right? I would like him to. I'd like him to have a new number. I would like him to have 48 because that's my favorite NASCAR driver. 48. I'd like him to have 48.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah, I think he's going to end up starting the season in Toronto. I think he's going to play around a little bit, and then.
Sam, before I let you go though, can I ask you one more thing?
Yeah, of course.
Why are people so mad about William Nylander and Austin Matthews and that? Why were they so mad about that deal for Sam?
So I think people just don't understand, looking down the road a little bit. Yes, it's a lot of money for next season. And when the Leafs are so close to the cap, but Matthews is a number 1 pick, arguably one of the best players in the league today.
I agree.
He's going to get best player money. And so if you look at this deal in 2 or 3 years, I think it's going to be a fair deal. You can't look at it today.
Sam?
Yes.
You know your friends in the chat that for Disney World Explorers or whatever?
Oh, Florida Park Explorers, yes.
I wonder if there's any way you can talk to them. I have a disability, Sam, but I don't have that much money. I just wonder if there's any way you could see if you can maybe get me a hat. Could you, Sam? See if you can talk them into doing that for me?
Well, I don't know. They don't usually do that, but definitely watch their channel. They do a ton of giveaways. So and for those in the chat, if you don't know, our good friends and partners, the Florida Park Explorers, they're down at Disney in the parks almost every day. They are the nicest people. They're an amazing family, an amazing channel. Definitely subscribe and follow them because they do a ton of giveaways. TJ, if you're there at the right time and they do a giveaway, you will have a good chance.
What time do they usually do it? What time do they usually do giveaways? If you had a guess, Sam.
I don't know when they do. They don't often tell me. It's just they'll do it spur of the moment. Usually when they're hitting those big milestones, they like to give
How much more do you get in next milestone, Sam?
We're looking, so 10K is our next big one. So we're still a little bit away.
Are we gonna know what? Can I secretly know what the thing is gonna be? You're not gonna tell me yet.
Oh, I don't even know. Well, I kind of know, but I have to work out the details, so I can't announce it yet. But we will.
This will be the last thing. I promise. I get one more thing. This will be the last thing, Sam. I promise.
Sure. Hey, Nick.
These hockey codes. How do I give them to you? Like, how do I do it through Instagram? I don't understand what you mean.
So I'll talk to you about it on Instagram, but I have our mailing address. You'll see it in the chat, or go to our channel, the About Us section. Our mailing address is there, and you can mail them right to me.
Okay, I don't know how I'm going to do that because my family won't let me do that, Sam. Yeah. That's the problem.
Yeah. Okay. So TJ, I got somebody else I'm going to bring in here. We can talk on Instagram about it. Thank you so much for everything, and we'll talk.
How do I leave, Sam? How do I leave? I don't know how to leave.
I gotcha. All right, there's TJ, our good friend. Please welcome in one of our other good friends. Hey, Triton.
Hello.
What's going on? Welcome in. How are you? First of all, and I should have said this off the beginning. Shame on me. Triton is I should say a fellow because I'm not. But Triton is now a Floridian. So everybody out in the Florida, Georgia area affected by the storms, we hope you wish you all the best. Chandler's certainly excited to be here. Wow, a lot of people coming in now. Triton, how are you, sir? First of all, storm-wise, and then
the storm really didn't do nothing in our area.
Oh, perfect. Good. I'm very happy to hear that.
But I do have some
breaking news. Uh-oh. Dallas fan from Scottibush. You're starting a war. Is it okay with you, Triton? And I'm sure it is. I have a couple people waiting in the green room. Can I bring them in to
sure.
kind of have some fun? Hey, Balls, how's it going? Isn't Florida being ripped? Only certain parts, Chris. Only certain parts. All right, let's bring him in. First, those be fighting words. Here's Dallas Hockey Girl.
Oh,
no conversation
My head's
Can't happen without this man. Joe, I got to change my branding.
Jordan!
You guys are going down.
Welcome in. It's a party. So we got over here is the green screen. AU Triton down there. Dallas hockey, basketball, football, roller skating, figure skating, ballet girl. And down here, Jordan's Disney Adventures. Welcome in, everybody. Great to see you. And by the way, Triton, you're being outnumbered by Canadians 3-1 right now.
That's right.
That's okay, because in the famous words of Eric Cartman, Canada's not a real country anyway.
Wow.
Dude, you're going down.
Dropping it like it's hot.
You're going down. The poison poutine is going to be coming after you. We're giving you the poison poutine.
I'm going to give Dave authorization to pie you in the face.
I think Dave's already planning on doing that.
Yeah, but now we're going to add a little bit more to it.
Yeah, little Tabasco in the pie.
That's right.
So welcome in, and let me ask, and I'll start, Dallas. I'll start with you because this is huge news. I know we've talked about it for so long. The Professional Women's Hockey League. Thoughts?
I don't think Dallas is excited by any means necessary.
No, that's just her normal looks.
Oh, dude, you're going down. You're so going down. I know where you live. You're so going down. You're so good. No, I am super stoked. We've been talking about the women's teams, how good they're playing, and that they need some equal time and equal attention. So I think this is going to be amazing.
I'm so happy, and I love that they picked kind of the original 6 teams for the most part.
That's very cool. That's very
6.
cool. That's very cool.
Yeah. Great job. I'm curious. I mean, September 1 is only a couple of days away, so I'm very curious how it's going to work. Like, can they just go and sign anybody, and then whoever's left over goes in the draft? Yeah. Or is it kind of, if you've played professional hockey before, you have to wait for the draft? I'm very curious to see how this shapes up. I can't wait to see, if some of the people who have recently retired kind of come back to play in this. Like, is Wickenheiser going to be involved in this some way?
Get out of my head, Sam. Get out of my head. I was just going, where is Haley? Where is Haley? Queen Haley. She's got to come back as a coach or something. I don't know if it's been a while since she's played, and we all get older, so I don't know if she'd be in playing form, but definitely as a coach or something. I think she's got to be
Cheryl Spooner, Amanda Kessel. Like, there's some amazing people that have dominated the women's division for so long. So I'm excited to see them.
I said, well, like I said, 330 some days till the Paris Olympics, 891 days until Milan Olympics. So it's
what are you, just a walking almanac?
No, I just asked to Google.
She knows.
See, Dallas secretly comes from the future. She just won't give us any of the winning lottery numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm saving those for myself. Well, the Paris Olympics are July of 24, and then Milan Olympics are February 26. So we've got lots of Olympics coming up. So it'll be both the summer and the Winter Olympics will be amazing.
Yeah. Triton, she gives me the lottery numbers, but always one off. So I'm like, oh, it was so close. Oh, it was close again. Oh, not again.
Well, you deserve that after what you did. After what you did, you deserve that.
I do.
What did you do?
Am I using you again?
You didn't see what he did? He makes Dina taste the hot sour pickle, and he taste tests ice cream.
Well, it's the luck of the draw sometimes. I will say, though, and if what Triton's referring to, we put up a couple of shorts over the last couple of days. The spicy pickle taste test and the Tim Hortons ice cap taste test. She probably enjoyed the pickle more than I enjoyed the ice cream. We'll just say. Let's see.
Now, Jordan, which igloo are you in up here?
Well, this is actually a photo over Disney's Pop Century Resort in Florida.
Yes, but as a fellow Canadian, where is your igloo?
It's in my backyard.
There you go. Nick, I'm curious to see. We know how there's a few teams out there. I'm not sure how it's all going to unfold, so we're going to have to watch and see. I hope it's going to be a huge audience. And Triton, you're a fairly newer hockey fan over the last couple of years as well. I kind of take some responsibility for that. Now, is this something that you would give a chance to? Knowing you're a new hockey fan, would you be interested in seeing kind of the women's take on the game?
If you recall last season, I was asking why isn't there a women hockey league? I'll be right there when the women start playing, having my goal light ready here.
Oh,
I love that.
Awesome.
You'll need to like you have to put that on your stream deck so that you can just press the button on your stream deck.
Yeah, this is an interesting question. Jordan, maybe I'll ask you and get your opinion. Ball says, do you ever think women will be able to play in the actual NHL?
Hope so.
This is a very interesting question. Any thoughts?
I think they would definitely have that opportunity to do it. I don't see why not. I mean, we've had a player. What was it? I think it's been one player so far. Manon Rion. She did as well too as a goalie. So why not? I mean, if we want to look at equality across the board, then jump on in and have fun. I say get her done.
Right.
I say give women every right, just as men. Women could probably play hockey better than half the men can.
Damn right we can.
That's right. Prep, absolutely. Yes. Manon Rayon, she signed with, was it the Tampa Bay Lightning, if I'm not mistaken? And she played it. She was okay. You know, she wasn't spectacular by any means, but she held her own. Listen, I would love to see more women getting the chance to do so. I think the thing that's been preventing that from happening, and I know this is a very controversial topic, so let me start by saying I in no means intend to offend anybody. But
so that means you're going to.
Yeah, exactly.
I think part of the issue here is genetics really comes into play. The average hockey player right now is what, 6'2", 6'1".
It's just going to say women aren't the same size as the men, so that does make a difference in how you play.
Sorry, Dallas, that leaves you out.
Endurance-wise, some of these women could probably skate circles around the men. If you realize almost every NHL team now has a female skating instructor, usually somebody out of the figure skating world, because their edge work is absolutely incredible. The only reason why I think you won't see a defender or a forward position is because of that genetic size difference. Goaltending is a different story, but having this league now allows these superstars who really should be at that professional level get that opportunity.
I mean, just think, if the Leafs had an all-women team, they might actually win a Stanley Cup.
We probably would have. But my brother, when he played, minor league hockey, they would do power skating. It was called a power skating session, and it would always be with one of the figure skating coaches. And
well, I've learned that hockey's not all just brute force,
No.
It takes some really good skating skills, and I mean, I'm sorry, hands down, women have better skating skills. I mean, look at all you don't. I mean, yes, there are men figure skaters, but the majority of them are what? Women.
Yeah, if you break it down to say on pure skating ability, hands, and creativity, the women absolutely deserve to be there.
Yep.
I think what it comes down to is that physicality, the size difference. Could you imagine if, again, I hate to pick on Amanda Kessel, but she's a real good superstar. Amanda Kessel goes in the corner with the puck, and you have a Ryan Reeves or a Sam Bennett, goes in and just destroys her. The league would be under so much fire. It would become such a major social issue, not the publicity you want to see out there.
No.
Daniel, how's it going? Welcome.
I mean, isn't that what they have waivers for and everything, though?
It still doesn't look good on social media or in the media.
Well, look at wrestling. For ages, women were separated in wrestling.
They were, but if you look again now in recent wrestling, if you look at the majors, AEW, WWE, very rarely do they let women wrestlers engage with male wrestlers.
Right. But it does happen.
Yeah, they have their mixed tag matches, right? Where if a female tags out, the other team has to go and swap. It's just too much of a major issue if something were to happen. And even though wrestling, what's that?
Unless it's Rhea Ripley, she just destroys everybody.
Rhea Ripley's a beast, or you had Tamina Snuka before that. China before her. There's always been bigger women who get mixed up in the Royal Rumbles or stuff like that. Like Rhea Ripley's incredible, and she can absolutely hold her own. But all it takes is, and there's a new big guy, I forget his name. All it takes is for him something to happen and Rhea Ripley gets hurt, and it's a publicity night.
Even though they know going in that's a chance, if you're playing a mixed team or mixed match, if it's wrestling, it's that going in that there's a risk because the person's could be twice your size.
Absolutely. Christina G, TJ Brody, welcome in.
It still doesn't
and if
work.
you're not allowed to participate, it's Jonathan Chong's fault. I think that's the final answer.
There you go.
Wasn't there a women's football league? Why couldn't they have a women's NHL?
You know what? I think it's just, I don't know. I don't know why the NHL didn't do this earlier. It is a separate group, not affiliated with the NHL at all. Mark's a good question, right? No, I wouldn't let my daughter do that. And that's where it starts, right? It starts at the grassroots level. And you don't want to see people pulling their daughters or children out because they're afraid if they mix at the NHL level, that means at the AAA, AA, select, all the way down, eventually it's going to mix. And listen, I have on my kids' teams today, they have girls that play, and heck, they're some of the best players on the team. But it's a non-contact league, and as soon as you introduce contact, there's a whole issue there.
Whole different dynamic. And I was just going to say, the women's teams, when you in international hockey with the Olympics and everything, it is no contact. And no body checking and everything. So that makes a huge difference. So yeah, when you mix it up and you have that physical contact with people and the size, there's such a huge size difference between a male player and a female player. It's just, there's too much chance for somebody to get really badly hurt.
Absolutely.
You know who this chat is missing?
Who's this chat missing?
The Bear Shark.
The Bear Shark. I'd love to get his.
I can guarantee you he's probably in Ninja watching right now.
He is. For sure.
Yeah,
if he wants to join us, I'd love to get his opinion. Nick, it starts in January. So September 1st opens a 10-day free agency window, followed by a draft being held September 18th. Yeah. Now, I don't know which players are eligible to be free agents and which are not. We'll have to find out. Yes, Prep, Sable was a tough cookie. And Sable is actually the wife of Brock Lesnar. So I'd hate to be involved there, wrestling over the last dinner roll at their table,
or wrestling over that last bottle.
So that'll be cool. So right after Christmas, so we'll have the junior tournament, we'll have the women's games. We're gonna have hockey coming out of our ears, people. It's gonna be fabulous.
Absolutely.
That means a lot of overtime.
Don't you and Hayden start. Olives.
So hockey is coming up around the corner. So Traverse City kicks off the middle of September with ridiculous times. I hate when they do this. So unfortunately, we're only going to be able to bring the last game, which I think is September 17th, if I'm not mistaken. September 17th, and it is going to be a 2:00 game. September 17th, it's a Sunday. 2:00, Toronto and Detroit. So that is what we're looking to bring.
So that game starts off at 2:00. We have room for like 6 or 7 overtimes.
Oh yeah, lots in the prospect tournament. The only thing I don't know yet for that, I gotta figure out where it's being broadcast. Because last year it was shown, but it was like a one camera kind of thing. So we'll have to make sure it's still broadcast. Of course, if they're not doing it, I won't be able to call a game. But then shortly after that, camps will be in full swing. Preseason will be coming up. And of course, the NHL opening games, October 10th and 11th. Toronto kicks off against Montreal October 11th. So 100% guaranteed We will have that game for you. I already have the thumbnail made. I just haven't scheduled it yet. We're looking. I'm waiting for the broadcast schedule to see if I'm going to get the Pittsburgh-Chicago game on October 10th. If so, we will be doing that. Sidney Crosby versus Connor Bedard, game 1 of the NHL season. We will hopefully have coverage, play-by-play coverage of the game as well.
Well, that preseason game should be good because that Leafs and Red Wings, that's an original 6 grudge match. That's always good, even if it's preseason.
Hey, Triton, if you want to go to Magic Kingdom that day because of all the overtimes, you'll have time to do that.
Just go sit on the teacups and watch the game.
That would be fun. I think we will need to have, Triton was pretty good last year, coming up with some challenges for me. I think we're definitely going to have to come up with some kind of challenge that makes Triton ride the teacups for like 4 hours or something.
Excuse me, host. Excuse me.
Please stand
And
up.
I'm only going to say this because I know he's a partner channel and you do endorse him sometimes. If you saw CeeLo's stream from when we were at Disney on the teacups, I spun him like there was no tomorrow.
That you did. That was pretty intense. That was pretty intense. Of course, On the Go with CeeLo, one of our partner channels. Pretty good guy. If you're into
you have to go to Casey's.
Baseball or NASCAR.
You have to go to Casey's and have 4 chili dogs, then go on the teacups.
Oh my dear Jesus.
Is that a challenge, Dallas?
It is, my lovely.
I accept that challenge.
And then you get off the teacups and then you go have 3 Dole Whips.
I will only watch that stream if there's a disclaimer. Any graphic content is removed.
But they have to be 3 adult Dole Whips.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, 4 chili dogs from Casey's, teacups, and then Dole Whips.
Of course, Prep absolutely gotta make sure she does the tough ones. She's a good sport. Morgan, how's it going? Morgan, been a channel member for 16 months. Welcome in, buddy. Hope your summer is going well. Chicago is going to be in network the first Friday in January. Oh, in Newark, not network.
Oh, should
I get tickets?
Always get tickets to the game. Always get tickets to the game.
It's going to be a good one to see Bedard in his first year. It's going to be fun. He's going to make the team. Could you imagine if Chicago sent him down to the minors? That would be insane.
Weirder things have happened, Sam.
That's true.
The question, Sam, is: are you going to cover some of these women games?
Yes, absolutely. So as soon as I heard it was there, I'm trying to figure out who they're signed with. Are they going to be Sportsnet in Ontario, or is it going to be Sportsnet? Is it going to be TSN? Who are they partnered with? Hopefully, it's not an Apple TV Plus type of situation.
Oh, good Lord.
Watch your mouth.
Please no.
Watch
no
your
Apple
mouth.
TV coverage of sports. No Apple coverage of sports.
So hopefully they'll have a good sponsor, and then wherever the games are going to be broadcasted, we will find them. We will absolutely bring them to you. I have to believe when they're making this schedule, they're going to try and balance it out with the NHLs. Hopefully, this is not going to be like 4:00 games, right? Hopefully, they will be 7:30.
Please,
proper.
Hopefully they do balance it out. That it's not all like one in the afternoon games or 4 p.m. games. Hope they balance it with prime time and not at the same time as an NHL game where everybody wants to watch the NHL game and not the women's game. Hopefully, they can balance it out. So
exactly.
This is where I think the women will get shortchanged, unfortunately, and I think they're going to make it an earlier game. And that way, the NHL with the men, they're going to have the prime time slots.
I think
that's
so.
my opinion, but
I think so. I think
either that or they're going to broadcast it on Lifetime.
Oh,
the other thing we don't know is
don't make me hurt you.
How many games is it in their season? Right, the men play 82 games.
Good question.
If they're only going to come out with like a 20-game season initially, because if you remember, like a million years ago when the NHL came out, the seasons were very short. So if they're only going to come out with a season that's going to spawn like January, February, they don't have to worry about overlapping with the men. I'm also very curious because with this kicking off in January, Toronto is hosting the All-Star game in February. Will they do anything that involves the women's game, even though it's not affiliated with the NHL? Will they have something where they mix together? And now,
Do an
where was
I
that?
could do an exhibition game with a couple of the women's teams just for fun for the All-Star game.
That would be great.
And the
Mark
women
wants to
should
know.
do an outdoor game too. The women should do an outdoor game.
That would be cool.
That'd
Mark
be
wants to
great.
know what cities. So the cities again are Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, New York, Boston, Minneapolis, St. Paul. So the only original 6-1 not there is Chicago. Chicago gets replaced by Minneapolis.
No, New York's gonna take it, so I mean that's all right.
But I think it's going to be good.
Put
I
your
think
money
it's
where your
gonna be
mouth
really
is, dude.
Hey, I if I pick New York, I got the Bear Shark on my side. So I mean, just saying.
Bear Shark doesn't watch women's sports
How do you know what he watches?
because we've talked about it.
Well, listen, it's a milestone occasion.
It definitely is. It's overdue.
great.
It's overdue.
It's going to be
it's
great. I hope they
long.
have a great first season. I hope the tickets are reasonable so that for this first season, especially so that everybody can get to the game and support the team, like all the teams, all the women's teams.
Yes. And by the way, we're 1 like away from 30 likes, although we're probably at 30 likes because I'm always a like behind. But if you haven't hit that like yet,
Yeah, we are at 30 likes. You are always a like behind.
there you go. Go ahead and hit that like. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe. If you're new and you're hanging out, share our channel around. We'd love for you and your friends to come in and join us. We do this every Wednesday night up until hockey season. And then depending on the hockey schedule, we'll see how it's going to kind of play in. But it's going to be a whole lot of fun. There you go. Prep's got it. I don't watch women's sports either, but if Sam streams, I will probably show up. And you know what, Prep? I hope that's the case for a lot of people, right? If I can do it, I will absolutely do it. If there are people out there who have not watched women's hockey before for whatever reason, schedules didn't work out, they weren't interested, they didn't know it was there, hopefully people will come in and they'll listen to our version of it and they'll be like, wow, this sounds really good. And they'll pay a little bit.
Sorry, Jordan, but it looks like somebody did a redeem in Sam's chat.
Redeem show. So yes, the graphics don't work on this setup, but you did technically redeem a shimmy, and I see it was successful. So you know what that means? Everybody's on screen has to shimmy along. Get your shimmies going.
Come on, Jordan.
He's in there. Bust a move. There we go. Way to go, Triton.
Well, they should just show the women's games at they should just do like Olympic schedule and show them like at 1 a.m.
All right. See you later, Road Warriors. I'm
Bye,
so
Road
sorry. Not as fun as this. We appreciate you hanging out.
This hour? Oh, good Lord.
You know, I'm getting a text from Jordan in 5 minutes. Says I'm never coming on your show again. Triton. I'm just kidding. All right. Before we wind down, because in typical
She's not just kidding.
in total Sam Welby fashion, I said I was going to keep it short, and I didn't. So as we wind down, I wanted to kind of get your thoughts on Austin Matthews. Since we've been talking about Austin Matthews, and I know Dallas, I'll let you start. The thoughts on the Austin Matthews contract and the thoughts on Austin Matthews potentially only playing 73 games next year and not breaking 100 points.
I don't know. I think the deal is a good deal. Like you said, it's broken down over the next 5 years. So it's not as crazy as it sounds. So I think that was a great deal. And like you said, he was working with the league because he wanted to stay in Toronto, whereas Nylander, he's kind of brushing it off. And I think he's going to play most of the games this season if he stays healthy. If he can keep away from the injuries, I think he's going to play lots of games. And I think he's going to get the 70 goals this year.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, Nick agrees. It would be good. It would be nice to see an All-Star game where the Marlies play. That would be cool. They could tie the two All-Star games together. That would be really neat.
That'd be cool.
All right, Jordan, we've never really talked hockey. I don't even know how much of a hockey fan you are, but if you are, do you have any opinions on kind of the Leafs signings, or are you like, forget hockey, the only ice I see is when I'm on a boat, and not the iceberg kind, more
The
the
only
ice
ice
shows.
Jordan sees is Disney on Ice.
You want to know what? I did get free tickets once to a Disney on Ice in Toronto, and then we got to go backstage and meet everybody because a good friend of the family's daughter was actually in the production as one of the skaters. So we got free tickets to go. We got free tickets to go, and like all the swag and all that stuff if you wanted it. But it was fun actually meeting the entire production team and all the skaters and whatnot after it was all said and done. So that was actually a blast.
Love it.
But I think what they should do though is that if they really want to make it true, like Leafs, whatever, they should actually come out wearing like Disney Spirit jerseys or something like that with like Mickey on it. I think that would be an epic game where it's like Disney against like like the good characters against the villains. That would be a kick-ass game.
That would be so much fun.
Actually, I would love that game.
That would be epic. I would love that. I would go to that game.
That would be very cool. Hey, Lucas, welcome in. Yeah, Mark, I agree. 5 year is perfect. 8 years will be risky. Yeah, I agree. It is nice. All right, Nick, we'll see you later. Take it easy. Yeah, we'll absolutely see you for the season. They do put on a nice show. I've seen a couple Disney on Ice shows. Actually, they are a lot of fun. They do a good job. The only problem with Disney on Ice shows is, man, they have like all the wands and the flashy lights, and everything is about $1 billion. They
certainly that you buy those and you play with those light up wands. So you can't hide that, and you've got no problem paying the price for it.
Yeah.
And those light up wands would fit you great, Sam, when you're singing "I'm So Pretty."
I'll have to go dig them out of the basement.
So they're just like the ones on Main Street right before the fireworks.
Yeah, exactly. They got all that stuff, and of course, how do you say no when every single kid has one there? It's crazy, but it's a nice show.
But does Disney on Ice have the bubble wands? Do they do bubble wands at Disney on Ice?
I think they do.
Love it. Bubbles everywhere, because we know how everybody at Magic Kingdom loves bubbles.
Yeah, and I'm sure.
Yeah, it's called Attack of the Mickey Bubbles, especially when it's time for like Happily Ever After or whatnot. All you do is you see those bubbles. Like when I was there back in April and May, when I was filming it, all you see was Attack of the Bubbles.
Yes, bubbles for me. I want bubbles. All the bubbles.
Of course. Just as we're trying to wrap it down and get the final thoughts, here comes the Bear Shark. What's up, Dave? The Florida Park Explorers, our partner.
He's got to come into the chat. Bring him into the chat. He's got to come in. If you have not checked out the Florida Park Explorers, you must. It's not an order, but it's an order. They are absolutely incredible. Check them out. And here coming in for his final thought and his first thought, Hayden, overtime is life. What's going on? Andy coming in as well. Holy moly, Andy, what's going on? The bubbles are all What's up, Andy? Oh, gosh. We're going off the rails, but we love it. Hayden, how's it going? And what are your thoughts on Austin Matthews and the Maple Leafs?
Hopefully everyone's okay with the storm in Florida. And, not much to say for Matthews. Any Leaf fan would be stupid to not be happy to have him for 5 more years. It makes me confident for Marner's next contract. Him and Matthews are best buds. Makes me think he's gonna sign next season. I can't talk. Okay.
That's okay. And I get what you're saying. Listen, it's a good deal. It's something that needed to be done. It's good that they were able to get the team going on. Bucks, what's going on? Welcome in. It's a good thing that they got him done and put away. And same with the coach, with Keefe. I was surprised what happened with the coach, right? That they signed him when they did. I thought they would have given him a little time to see how his season would have progressed before committing. So what do you think about the coach?
Finally,
I don't.
not a coach.
I mean, he brought our best years for a long time, so I don't blame him for any of our playoff failures. It's get the players ready, show up.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be a good mix. It's going to be a lot of fun this upcoming year. Of course, can I make this a little better? There we go. It's all a little bigger. I'm excited. Of course, the season is kicking off. We're like a month and a half away. It is absolutely crazy that we're at this point. I remember when the Stanley Cup pinned message, Bear Shark, pinned message at the top. Go ahead and give
that direction, Bear Shark, just in case, not that one.
Yeah, you got to raise the roof. Sorry, I'm kind of disappearing in the clouds.
I know these green screens, right?
You know, see, I don't know what people are talking about a hurricane in Florida, because this was my picture from today over Disney's Pop Century, which we got blue skies, a rainbow. I mean, it was gorgeous.
Actually, most of my afternoon was actually sunny out here. It really did nothing here.
Well, how do I get down that far? Everybody is in big trouble. Be on your bestest behaviorists. The shark is in the house. The shark is in the tank.
Oh, no, wait. Bear Shark can't bring a cool hat in here. Now, that's it. Hold on.
How is it going, my friend? Welcome in.
Okay.
What's up, everybody?
Have you got your ruby slippers on? Are you spinning around inside the house?
Oh, we didn't get that much. Oh, yeah? AAU?
Okay, your hat's cooler.
I could do this all day.
Your hat's cooler.
It's a hat battle. We don't need to do the rap battles here. It's a hat battle. So let me ask you
this. Oh my
God. Let me ask you, Bear Shark. The New York Rangers, you might have heard of them.
Who?
They signed their superstar or future superstar, Lafreniere, 2 years. Are you happy to keep him and give him 2 more years based on how he played last year?
Nope.
No,
not even a little.
Not even a little.
So, he really disappeared. That sucks.
Oh, Sully don't like that.
Oh, all right, fine. We'll go with this
cream.
one. I think that the Rangers need to go exploring and try and find something else other than Lafreniere. I'm going to make it really simple. First of all, let's just call the Rangers out for what they are. They're idiots.
Good night, Andy. What's up, Andy?
Good night, Andy.
Night, Andy.
You take a coach that won 68% of their games and you fire him. Now, he lost the locker room, but there's a lot of debate as to why. But you took a very winning coach and you scrapped him for, what did we wind up with? Laviolette, I think. I don't even know because he's irrelevant and he sucks. And now
Tell us how you really feel.
You don't want to know. This is a family show. So the thing is, you have so many kids that are coming up. The Rangers Farm League, the AHL team, is amazing. We have so much depth. And we screwed up during the rebuild. We went for the let's go win now. We bring in Tarasenko. We bring in Kane. Who didn't we bring in? I think the only person we didn't go after was Connor McDavid. And what did we do? We went out in the first round. Like it was from the word go. And I think that Drury is responsible in some degree because they never should have let this get like this. I would have sat there and said, what's a better investment in my money? Bring a kid up, let him develop, re-sign Patrick Kane or Tarasenko, and get rid of what's his face? Who are we talking about? Lafreniere. Get rid of Lafreniere. Get rid of Capo Caco. Take him and launch him out of a cannon. Get rid of all these idiots. Right now, bring up some of your kids. Let them develop a little bit. Bring back Tarasenko. Try and bring back Kane. He said he was open to it. I don't go where they're going. I could tell you that right now. And if they could have brought in a worse backup goaltender, I'm not sure that even Georgiev wasn't a step up.
Ouch.
And was the pillow hands just a Christmas present? Is that your idea of a Christmas present?
So pillow hands.
Thanks for that, by the way.
Hang on a second. I got to pick on every single one of you that is a Maple Leaf fan for a second.
Yeah. Before you do, Lucas, congratulations. That is a way to finish the season. 3 for 3 tonight. Great job. And Prep, thank you so much for the super chat calling that out. I appreciate it. So thank you.
Yeah,
Prep.
thank you, because Bear Shark's not reading tonight. So thank you for interrupting me, because that's a huge deal. Good job. So all of you that bleed blue with the white thing on your chest, you guys want to take hockey fights out of hockey. We tried this already.
In fairness, it's we're like pointing at.
Look, everybody's pointing AAU. It's AAU's fault.
It's Quebec. It's the Quebec Major Junior League.
Well, you guys jumped in and said, you guys are like, hey, let's follow the Quebec National Hockey League from what are we talking about? The kids hockey league where they're not allowed to fight anymore. And it's like, hold on a second. So this makes sense to everybody? Like, I'm sorry, but hold on, I gotta be cool like Sam.
No, you got to put on your big pimpin' hat.
I don't have any hair to come through the front though.
No, but put on your big pimpin' hat.
You want my big pimpin' hat? Hold on.
Yeah.
Why'd you put your fake
So,
hat?
all right, Big Pimpin'. Big Pimpin's going to tell you what it's really like. Ready?
Bear Shark has officially done more costume changes than I have all last season.
I have like 15 more hats. So the thing is that if Pillow Hands is going to have a job and he's going to be, the new player needs to be Tom Wilson like. They got to be able to hit, they got to be able to fight, they got to be able to pass and score. And there's not another player like him. And Ryan Reeves not only should he retire, he should do what Michael Strahan did. Completely leave the sport and go do like QVC. All right. Like that's where he belongs. He's a waste of space and a waste of a roster spot for an up and coming kid. And is he the Bear? I'm not actually formally known as Prince. I am a prince. But all seriousness, like, what are we going to do with no fighting, guys? Like, the refs suck. The only people who can make amends are fighters.
I don't think that's going to last very long. I think they will do it in this season. They will realize this is going to spill over in some shape or form. Maybe they're not going to drop the gloves, but maybe somebody's going to get run from behind. Someone's going to get whacked, but good with the stick. There's going to be other ways these guys are taking their aggressions out, and it's going to be really bad. So I cannot see this.
I agree with you 10,000% because you and I were talking about it off stream. What's going to happen is a guy's going to go in, a boarding call's 2 minutes, as long as you're not running more than 5 feet. So you're going to get these guys that are going to be boarding people, and they're going to be major injuries based on that. So is Max Downey? No.
He tries to be, but he's not that same player.
Not like
Actually,
that.
He's a lot better fighter than.
Go ahead, Hayden.
No, I'm just saying he's a lot better fighter than Haidomi. He has more penalty minutes. I can't wait to see him go 400 minutes.
I'd like Ty Domi back on my team now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Max brings. I hope he doesn't try to fill that role because he does have a little bit of skill. He can score. He can move the puck, especially if they put him back with Marner because Domi and Marner played together in London with the London Knights. But yeah, back to fighting. I don't think that's going to see a lot of legs. There's no way that would come here. And with Ryan Reeves, I mean, when that first happened, my initial thought is, the core four, Tavares, Matthews, Marner, they said, listen, we can't get beaten up the way we're beating up. You got to go out and do somebody. And somebody probably floated Reeves' name and said, go after this guy. I can't believe this was something they just decided to do on their own.
Were they drunk at the time? When they pulled his name out of a hat, were they drunk?
Well, the hat only had one name in it. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the biggest issue, the biggest issue is, as Sam said, and 100% agree, you're going to get to a place where this sport's not going to stop being violent.
No.
Okay? It's like they tried to take the violence out of football. It doesn't work that way.
No, it's part of the sport.
They just play tag.
You're taking all this aggression, and next year for special, dude, you did great, Lucas. Just keep doing what you're doing, buddy.
That's right.
But all seriousness, like in football, you're not going to take aggression out. These guys are hitting each other at full speed, and you're trying to make it down to a millisecond of where the helmet is and what they're seeing. And by the way, when you're looking at it, I know some of you have played sports. When you're looking at it through a football helmet, it's this big. When you're looking at it through a hockey helmet, it's this big. You can't see out the side. You have no peripheral.
No.
And I think that what they're doing is they're trying to over manage the games. There's not enough preseason. There's not enough training. There's not enough warm-ups. There's not enough to get these guys going. And then Sam, you and I talked about this last year. Every other day from the break until the end of the year, stupid. All you're doing is killing your players. It's poor. What they should do is extend the season by about, I'd say, 3 weeks.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how things play out with this fighting, because don't forget George Peros, who's leading. I use that real loosely. Leading our player safety committee, he was a fighter. That was his role. He was an enforcer. So there's no way, as an enforcer, is going to be talked off the ledge to be in alignment with, hey, we got to get rid of fighting. I would be shocked if that were.
This is George Peros today. Okay.
I thought that was me behind you.
No. No, this is you over here.
There's no shirt on.
There's Bubbles right there. By the way, does anybody else think that AAU looks like Bubbles? Come on. You've never seen Trailer Park Boys? He looks just like Bubbles. You like Rush, don't you? Sit there and give me a Rush riff.
That would make me Canadian, wouldn't it?
You're like borderline.
Oh, dear
Aren't you
Lord.
borderline? Like you were up by Canada. You were like 15 minutes away. But at least you got a shirt on for the show. So
Sam made me.
Triton's too sexy for his
It's
shirt.
a family stream.
He's too sexy for his shirt.
He's too sexy for his sleeves.
Yes, he is too sexy for his sleeves.
Hey, you can't do that because this is a merch I bought off of your stream.
There you go. Triton.
I blame Jordan. There it is. There it is. Come on. Come on. Tell me that's not AAU.
I don't have. I have AAU's twin. I don't have it loaded in here.
If you send it to me, I'll make it right now and send it back to you.
Hang on. Let me see if I can.
If
find
you
it
send
real
me both pictures, I will make it and send it to you right now. You guys can go talk amongst yourselves for a minute. And then I got to ask one question. Dallas, do you have a bed standing up behind you?
It is. That's my grandma's power bed. When she moved to a care home.
Now you said grandma, and I can't make my joke. All right, never mind.
That's right. So that's her. When she moved to a care home, this is the bed out of her house. So it's a power bed, but it's very comfortable and they're quite expensive. So we're still figuring out what to do with it. So it's just sitting here in my office in storage. And I had the power chair too. It's over this way somewhere.
I got the power cord. Didn't.
Hang on, I almost have it. Here
So
we
what
go.
was the joke? That I sleep in my office?
No. You brought grandma into it. It totally
ruined it.
So here is
Go
which one
Grandma.
is this one is what we call our Uncle Triton. He fills in at intermission when Triton can't join us.
From Duck Dynasty.
So here, if I move Triton over here and then we bring it up, there you go. You get a side by side. It's pretty good.
Love
I was in the guy's beard.
Love it.
Oh goodness! All right, on
You're all
that.
nuts. I just want you to know that.
Now
This is
I'm
what
going to get
happens when
another
we have too
text
much
from
time on
Titan
our
saying
hands.
I'm not coming on your show if Bear Shark is here. First it was Jordan not coming on when Triton is here. Now Triton's not coming when Bear Shark's here. Ah, love it. This is awesome.
I did
And
nothing.
Dallas is just lucky she's tall enough to be on the show.
Well, that's why we rate. That's why we have height adjustments on chairs.
That's right.
He must
So
be sitting on
actually-
those olives.
That's right. I'm sitting on crates of olives, the poison ones, just for you, Hayden.
We had a
Can't wait.
question for Bear Shark, and now that we're here,
wait.
I gotta ask you, before we wrap up tonight. I gotta ask you this.
What I do?
I don't know if you heard the news, and it's not that the bird is the word because we already know that, but they announced the other day the official Professional Women's Hockey League is kicking off in January, and starting September 1st, they're going to have a free agent period and the draft. So the original teams is Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, New York, Boston, Minneapolis, St. Paul. I was curious what you think about this.
I'm sorry, I fell asleep when you said women's professional hockey.
You're so dead.
What
You're
what
so-
happened?
Kick him off. Kick him off.
Did you say something about frisbee?
You're so dead.
Was it curling?
Yeah.
Kick him off.
Wait till I talk to Jen, and yeah, you're dead. You're so dead.
Not just this stream, but just off of this group. Kick him off.
Are we talking about like? Are we talking about like? What are we talking about? Oh, you
Women's
mean the
hockey league.
professional
They're gonna
league?
kick
Oh,
your butt.
I heard something about that. All right, so
You get
I
your
gotta be
skates
honest
on
with
and
you.
you play against the women's team. Then we'll talk, dude.
I'll play against them.
Mhm.
All they got to do is get a joystick, just like I have.
Yeah, no.
So
You get your skates and you get your stick and you play.
back in the day, I would have played against any one of them. And let me tell you something: at 245 pounds, full contact, I knocked them right through the glass. So we're not having men-women league because at the end of the day, battle of the sex has already been proven, both in tennis, it's been done in swimming, it's been done in everything. What I would say is this: I don't know anything about it. I read the headline, and the first person I thought of was Dallas. And I said, Dallas is going to be super excited. Therefore, I've got to have like 15 jokes so I can make fun of her. And then I sat there and I said, it's professional hockey. And look, don't get me wrong. When I watched the girls play the Olympics, they were amazing. They're very well. They're very skilled. They do a great job. I'm just going to say it the way that it is. Is there a need for this when hockey has a hard enough time? Professional NHL hockey has a hard time filling seats in the markets that they're in. Are we trying? And you and I talked about this before off stream, Sam, are there too many teams in hockey right now? Do we need 32 teams when 28 will do, or 22 teams will do? We have markets that don't put AIS. And if you're not getting AIS for the guys, you're now asking to AIS for an entirely new league. Let me tell you, it didn't work for XFL. It didn't work for anything that had to do with professional football. And I don't believe that this is going to work. I believe that this falls into the equity complex of what we're trying to do in today's world, which is cool. And I'm not saying that women aren't entitled to it. They absolutely are. They deserve to have the same abilities and the same everything that we do. But
there's only so much space.
Well, what happens, and this is what I talk with Bella about all the time. What happens if it fails? Doesn't it look like women failed? And it's not that at all. It's not women's fault if the marketing isn't right, or it's the wrong time, or if you're trying to put a spin into this where, again, how many teams, you and I were doing the offline stats that one day when you were trying to sandbag me. Like there are a lot of teams that can't fill their stadiums.
And we know where they are. Toronto never has problems filling seats, or Montreal.
Well, when they're $2 a seat, it's okay. But you know, the thing is,
euros to that, dude.
Okay, so 20. I forgot you guys have higher taxes.
Couple zeros.
Yeah. What we don't know is we don't know who the broadcast partners. That's going to have a huge deal.
That will.
We really don't know what the rules are going to be. We don't know all of that. All we know is, thank goodness, there's no women's team in Arizona, because they would likely draw more than the men.
I could be honest with you. I think I'd root for them there. And let me tell you something. I'd actually like to see them play against them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, all seriousness, like I think, and everybody's entitled to do their best and to have their own league and to do their thing. I don't have a problem in the world with that. And if there was a team that I wanted to root for, I would root for them. But I've tried. Have you guys ever watched Arena League football?
Yes. We actually had a team in Toronto for about 5 minutes.
It's an excellent sport that never took off. It's full contact, bloody, kill the next guy.
Yep.
But it never took off. XFL never took off. There's a lot of these sports that are developed over years. Think about this. We're talking hockey was invented over 100 years ago. I don't have a problem with anybody playing a sport. If you're good, go play. Go because you're passionate. But I don't want it to seem like
It'll be me.
I've raised one daughter. I have another one. I have a granddaughter. And I'm surrounded by women. So anyone who thinks that I'm anti-women is 100% wrong, because at the end of the day, I raise girls.
No.
And I
You
teach
guys
them
are
that
very
they,
sharp, but we know
that-
that's not the case.
but not only do I teach them that they can do anything in this world, because there is no difference, but what happens when we set them up to fail? And I deal with this with Bella all the time. It's like, why would you want to compete? Like I see, like there, and I don't mean to get political, and it's not a political statement, but in this day, we're trying to pair people against each other. And we're missing a moment in time right now where we sit there and say, what if these 8 teams, what if the league fails? Won't it look like women aren't good enough? And that's not the case. They're going to be good enough because they're professionals. Once you hit the professional level, you're good. But if the marketing isn't there, if the money doesn't back it up, if people don't support it, if people don't go to the games, if there's no ad revenue, if they don't watch, if they don't sell tickets, this is a disaster. And like you said, Sam, we don't know rules. Are they going to let fighting? Do you know how much I would pay to watch 2 women duke it out on the ice? I would love it. Excellent.
I gotta believe they're going to follow the same kind of rules that they have in the international.
There'd be hair pulling.
It's probably not going to be contact unless it's incidental. But it would be interesting. Listen, if they made it full contact with fighting and all that stuff, same rules as the National League, that would be insane. It would be absolutely incredible. And I got to second that. Like, for those that don't know the Bear Shark, he speaks the truth. He's surrounded by women and stands up for them every which way. He would run through walls for them. So he's
absolutely right, though, because I remember the XFL. It really didn't take off, and these women could be top of the line, greatest players out there. And like he says, if the marketing isn't there, it doesn't take off. It's gonna look bad for. They're gonna feel like it was on them.
I'm gonna give the joke, but it's not meant to be a joke, but it is to a degree. I'm gonna speak to my guys for a second, and probably some of my girls. Super Bowl comes. There used to be, and I don't know if they still do it, but there was the lingerie bowl that happened at the same time. First of all, I don't know that it still does. Why? Because it didn't take off. But chicks in thongs, in helmets and pads, beating the crap out of each other on a field, and men aren't watching. If you can't get a guy to watch that, how about Glow? I know everybody here is wrestling people, so why isn't that popular? You're taking chicks and wrestling. How about mud wrestling? Like, it's not a professional sport. And I'm not degrading women. I'm just saying, even though when they put them in the most degrading positions imaginable that men should want to watch, they're not.
They still don't.
So I hope that they go by the same NHL rules, because that I'd watch. If you give me more Hockey 2.0, I'm not watching.
Yeah. And listen, the WNBA has had the same issues, right? They've struggled. They're they're kind of getting back in. They've had a tough time developing stars. They've had its ups and downs, but unless you're a basketball fan, you're not really paying attention to the WNBA. They have to have a team in your space. Now, I think they picked absolutely the right markets to go to. Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, hard markets. Minneapolis, that Minnesota, that whole area, they're crazy hockey fans. New York, original 6 hockey place. Boston, big hockey market. I think they've got the smart markets. The question is, what will the rules be? How long is the season going to be? Who's playing? How do we develop these stars? How much money are they going to make? Because that's going to be a conversation that comes up as soon as the contracts become public. So there's going to be a lot of information we're going to be getting over the next 30 days. Well, starting in 2 days.
You
September
brought up a good point, though. You brought up WNBA. There's also women's LPGA. Like, we've tried this many times, and it doesn't garnish the same support. Let me also say this: the Rangers just hired. I don't remember her name, but she's the former Olympian, and she's now on our player personnel board. So again, I think that anybody who's involved in this, if it's yes, they pick great markets. I honestly don't think it matters.
Yeah. Prep. I loved roller derby back in the day. That was
awesome. Why is that? Like, if that's not on TV, watching chicks slingshot each other into the boards, come on. Like, I would watch that, but it's not on TV.
Oh, Bear Shark, we're going to go to the women's games and we're going to wear our ears. We're going to wear our hockey ears.
Hold on.
Hey, Dallas, please stand by.
Oh, wait. Has he got them?
Can't see him, Dave.
No, green screen.
Green screen.
Crap.
Green screen. Can't see them.
There you go.
Carton ears. Love it. But where are your Canada ears? Where are your Epcot ears from Canada?
I'm American.
Oh, please.
This is what I have to say when we talk about women's sports, the major sports, yes, it struggled. But when it comes to Olympic sports, in the summer games, I actually by far enjoy watching a lot more of the women's competition. I think the women's swimmers are more exciting to watch. The men's swimmers usually have a handful of people that dominate. The women's are usually a lot closer together. I just, for whatever reason, the women's Olympic sports are so good and they're so incredible to watch. So it's going to be great. Whatever this league is, let's see what information comes out. Let's figure out how it's going to come together, and it's going to be fun. So we will bring you all the information as we get it over the coming weeks. Of course, hockey kicking off in a month and a half. Let's go around the room, see what everybody has coming up, and we're going to wind this down. Hayden, we'll start with you. Looking forward to the end of summer. What do you have coming up over the next week?
Nothing much. I'm happy summer's over. I hate the heat. Winters around the corner. Hockey's around the corner. What's not to love?
There you go. Hayden's looking forward to those 18 overtime games coming up 6 months from now when the playoffs get going. Jordan, what about yourself? Jordan's Disney Adventures. If you haven't seen his YouTube channel, check it out. I hear there's a new boat about to be unveiled very soon that you're going to have coverage on.
Yeah, well, they were supposed to do that today, but obviously because of the hurricane, it got pushed back to September the 5th. But yeah, no, I plan on doing that. And yeah, that one, Dave. The one that went over AAU's house. It stayed down that way. Yeah, no, so I'm going to work with Dave, and hopefully he can help me work some bit of magic in the background, so I can do a live stream for the Treasure Grand Reveal next week.
Sweet, that's awesome. Make sure you subscribe to Jordan's channel. He just passed the milestone. Was it 300? So let's get him up to 350. And then AAU Triton, of course, he is Mr. Technology. You got to check him out as well. Triton, what do you have coming up now that at least you're okay with the storm passing by?
Well, hopefully I'm going to set up some more Disney reservations because I want to sneak up on a bear shark in a park with a whipped cream pie without him knowing. So
all I ask is that you pack a lunch and some rocket rollerblades because you're going to need them.
But no, I do hope to meet him in the park one day.
No doubt, dude.
I found out the one night I was there that Jen was actually there, and walked right by me. And I didn't even know she was there. I was kind of upset about that, but I'll meet them eventually.
We'll see for sure, dude. No doubt.
And then Dallas, what's up in your neck of the woods over the next week?
Not too much. It's supposed to be very nice this weekend, so hopefully getting some more beach time in before beach season is over. And yeah, just looking forward to hockey season getting started. So bring your Speedo, Bear Shark. We're going to go to the beach this weekend.
They outlawed Speedos on Bear Sharks a long time ago.
You didn't tell me to bring my Speedo.
Yeah, bring yours too. Come up, get on
She
the plane.
She doesn't want you to wear it as a pirate patch.
Speedos and 360 cameras. That's a whole other show.
Top down
And it's a family show.
That's the 18 plus show.
It's after 10 o'clock. Bear Shark, you guys are always busy. Lots going on. What's up for this week?
Nothing. No. Tomorrow we're back at Character Warehouse, and then tomorrow night we haven't decided where we're going. We're going to be in. Jen just walked in, so maybe I'm wrong. We're going somewhere tomorrow night and doing something, and then on Friday, the cool part is Halloween Horror Night starts Friday night. We will be there for the opening of the tribute store. It was supposed to be today, but with the weather, we opted not to go. We'll be there shopping it. You can buy anything you want for Halloween Horror Nights. If you need your merch, we're here for you. Next week, we're going to be hitting it really hard. And then this crazy woman's been with me 18 years. We're going to be celebrating our 12-year wedding anniversary next week.
Happy anniversary.
Which is insane. It just proves to you she's nuts. And so we're going to be doing that.
That's where we say happy anniversary, Dave and Jen. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Amen. We're not actually sure yet what we're doing. And I will say this to you. It is moderately up in the air as to we may be here. We may be elsewhere. We may be on a boat. You never know. So I will say this to you guys. We're always, as Sam said, we're always doing something. We're always shopping. If you need concierge or you're looking to travel to the area, let us know. We're here. We'll always help.
Absolutely.
So
and don't forget,
people not allowed to order? Was it with caramel corn? People weren't allowed to order something.
So at the moment, it's caramel apples because I got a picture, and it wasn't that the apple was bad. All the caramel ran down to the bottom of the bag.
I knew it was caramel something. I knew it was and Dole Whips.
Dole Whips, I wouldn't advise unless you're going to mix it with Malibu, in which case you should drink it immediately. But yeah, I mean, the treasure treats are a big thing. They kick back off again. As a matter of fact, we just did a treasure treat order that had 22 pieces in it to one person.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, the cool part is like if you're having a Halloween party and you want to win, call us. We'll put together a treasure treat package. You put them out, and everyone's gonna go, "Where'd you get these from?" Main Street, USA.
Love it.
It's fun. Sam, what do you got going on this week?
Yeah, Sam.
This week we are ready to head back to the city, getting ready for school, all the fun stuff, getting back into the fall routines. Is what we are going to be planning our initial hockey schedule again, waiting for that broadcast schedule to come out so we know what out of market games we'll be doing. And it's just going to be hockey, nonstop around the clock.
I can't wait.
A whole lot of fun.
Dying for hockey.
Sounds
Sam.
like
It's all your fault.
Yeah,
So in other words, you're never going to finish that Lego castle.
Oh no, that will get finished.
Bravo.
We will still have bonus hobby coverage coming up. Of course, the Lego castle being finished. We'll have Upper Deck Series 1, which comes out in November. We have a couple of boxes of that pre-ordered. So lots of stuff going on. So make sure that you subscribe to all these fine folks, the Florida Park Explorer, Jordan's Disney Adventures, AAU Triton. Nope, he's that way. AAU Triton's Crazy Technical Adventures. And Dallas doesn't have a channel, so just subscribe wherever she tells you. Thank you all.
I'm hosted by AAU when I do cooking videos.
There you go. Another reason to subscribe to AAU.
I say, are you at the cottage, Sam?
We are, yeah. Parts unknown.
Love it.
Now, here's my question: are you in the same chair that you were in last night?
I have moved to a different chair, but as soon as I close this down, I'm going right back to that other chair. So I will say thank you all for coming in and joining. This was a blast. Every time I say we're going to keep it short, we go longer and longer.
I just told everybody to steal third.
There you go. Thank you to everyone who came in, Jade and TJ and all of you fine folks. We appreciate it. Mods, thank you for dropping all the links and getting everything going all night. Channel members, appreciate it. Of course, Prep, thank you for the super chat. And thank you all. We'll be back next Wednesday to continue doing this. More information on the Women's League and signings, all that fun stuff. Until then, wish for more hockey because it's coming up soon. We'll all see you on the flip side. Take care,
Some
everybody.
overtime.
Watch it. Sam Welby experience.
You're watching the Samwell B12 Experience.